3. Hey guys, it's another tutorial here. I'm going to go over the selection tool in Adobe Photoshop CS5. The selection tool has so many uses that it's impossible to cover everything, but I'm going to show you why you would want to use it. So, one quick idea. Let's, for example, I got this picture of a giant duck. I'm going to drag that file up to the very top to open it. Okay, that's a quicker way to open it. Let it load. If you want to zoom on a photo very quickly, you don't have to click down here, all right? You can hold the letter Z on your keyboard and go left to right on your mouse. So hold the Z key down and then drag your mouse from left to right to zoom in. Then when you want to move around, hold the space bar and move around. Before we begin, we want to take our layer and we're going to drag it to a new layer so we can duplicate it. Now we have one that we have. I'm just going to call this, if you double click on the letters, it'll let you change the name. I'm going to call it duck. And you should get used to renaming. So what I'm going to do is, there's some selection tools here. The one I selected is a lasso tool. We also have polygon lasso tool and magnetic lasso tool. Actually, let's try one of them and see what happens. Let's try the magnetic lasso tool. So the magnetic lasso tool, if you click around the duck, and I'm not even holding anything, I'm just kind of going around the duck. It's going to start selecting based on the colors or what it can see. And I'm just going around the duck, and you should see some sort of line begin to form around it. And then come back to the beginning and click. So now I have a selection. You see these little tiny marching ants? That's what they call them, marching ants. It means I've selected the duck. Now the selection isn't very good. If we hold the Z key down and move to the right, we can zoom in. You'll notice, spacebar, drag, you'll notice we have extra that we've collected. We don't want that. So what I can do is I can use the quick selection tool, hold the Alt key, and it'll turn into a minus. And secondly, I'm going to hit the left bracket key to shrink my brush, hold the Alt key down. I'm going to subtract some of that. I don't want that. So I'm going to hold the space bar again and move around. And you're going to notice we're not getting some of the ducks, the eye of the duck. So I'm going to not hold Alt down. I'm going to add, which is a plus. And then it added some stuff here. So I'm going to try to delete that. I don't want that. So you're kind of going back and forth, holding Alt and not holding Alt to add. And then hold the space bar, start moving around. Okay. Subtract some of this, hold the Alt key down. And we don't need that. Hold the space bar to move around in the photo. And this is a very, very rough selection of the duck. So I'm going to zoom out, hold the Z, and move to the left. Okay? And my duck is still highlighted. I'm going to create a new layer down here. New layer. And I'm going to copy the duck. I'm going to go to Edit, Copy. Oops, sorry. Make sure you're selecting the duck layer. Go back to Edit, Copy, and then I'm going to hit Edit. Before I do that, I'm going to select my new layer. I'm going to name this second duck, and I'm going to hit Edit, Paste. So you're like, what happened to my duck? So what it's done is it's pasted the duck on top of the original duck. So what I'm going to do is use my selection tool or my move tool, either by clicking up here or by hitting the V key on my keyboard. Okay. Then I'm on my second duck layer. I can then move my other duck. So now I have two ducks in my photo. And then what if I want a third duck? I'm going to click here, new layer. Oops. Let's rename it. Right click. Well, I guess I can't rename it right now. And if you click on that new layer, you go to Edit, Paste, you'll paste another duck. Let's zoom out, hold the Z key down, move to the left. And then let's hide all these layers. So this is where we started. We had one duck, and we added a second one, and then a third one. So that's it. That's how easy it is to use a selection tool. You want to use it to copy an image. So let's do one more thing. I'm going to get a picture of the Antarctic. I spelled that right? Nope, didn't do that. And I'm going to put my duck in this new background. So I'm going to view original image. Hopefully it'll work. If not, pick something else. All right, it's a great image. Right click, save image as. Make sure you're saving all your files in your folder. Don't save it in the download folder. And I'm going to save the Antarctic photo. I'm going to open up my folder. I see my Antarctic photo show up. I'm going to drag it onto a space here. So I've got the Antarctic there. I want to get my duck over there. So I've already selected the duck, and I think this should work. I still have my duck highlighted when I copied it. But in any case, I guess what you can do is you could drag your layer well, I guess I don't know how to do this exactly, but this is what I usually do. I'm going to grab this giant duck layer. I'm going to click it out of this frame, right? So now my duck layer is behind this one. I'm going to take my layer, my second duck layer, I'm going to drag it onto the Antarctic. And there you go. And then I'm going to snap this giant duck one back over here, and then I'll go back to this one. So now I have my giant duck in the Antarctic. And if I want more ducks, I just Control C and Control V, and I can keep adding more ducks. Why would you do this? I have no idea, but it's just a great exercise to use to practice. Okay, that's it for this tutorial.